A very wise man once said, "I am the great Cornholio." Today, I present to you the new Baofeng GMRS-9R package sold by Abbree. As shown, meaning what I will be showing you today, the cost for this kit is $63. Affiliate link below. And yes, I know that on some devices, the affiliate link is not below, it is to the side, but you still have to click below to open up the information section. So please, no need to leave a comment to let us know. This kit sold by Abbree comes in a few different configurations, some less expensive, some a few dollars more expensive. And just for clarification, Abbree or Baofeng did not send me this radio or this kit. I bought this all by myself, like a big boy, using last month's money from my channel members. Those are the subscribers that clicked the join button below, or perhaps to the side, and they support my channel with their hard-earned monies so that I can show you things like this. The Baofeng GMRS-9R is a 5-watt IP67 rated waterproof radio, and as I have already mentioned multiple times by now, this kit is sold by Abbree, and the kit comes with several accessories, which makes it a great value. When you purchase the Baofeng GMRS-9R radio in the box, you will receive a user manual. This manual is written by Abbree, not by Baofeng. It is a very nice looking manual. It has a shiny cover. It is written in decent English, not perfect English. And there are some errors and mistakes. For example, the very first paragraph inside the cover, the very first page reads, "Thank you for purchasing amateur portable radio. We always offer high-performance, stable wireless two-way radio. Factory-developed IP57 waterproof two-way radio, especially for maritime shipping users." Blah, blah, blah. So first off, this is not an amateur portable radio. This is a GMRS radio. They are very different. And while it may have stable wireless two-way communications, it is not IP57 as stated here. The box and the Amazon page both say that it is IP67, which is better. And I'm not sure that I would recommend a GMRS radio for maritime shipping users, but I guess that's up to them. But otherwise, it is a decent manual with large type that is easy to read for us old people, and it has everything you need to get you started using this new radio. You will receive a belt clip and a tiny screw for affixing the belt clip to the radio. Using this, it then slides on and off of that for easy removal. You can then clip the radio to your belt to impress the chicks. You will receive this charging cradle for charging the battery for the radio, and this accompanying AC adapter plug, which, as you would imagine, plugs into the charger. The other end plugs into the hole that you find in your wall. You will receive this very handsome wrist strap for affixing to one end of the radio and the other end to the appendages on your body. You will receive this shoulder microphone. This is a handheld speaker and microphone. It has the waterproof type connector, which connects to the radio. The radio is waterproof, so it needs this special type of connector so as to not allow the water to get in. It has a rotatable clip, which you can affix to your shoulder or your shirt to really impress the chicks. You will receive not one, but 2 batteries. These batteries are 2800 milliamp hours. You will receive this little label thingy with a little plastic cover, which allows you to write your name or your initials on it and then affix it to the bottom of the radio so that if you lose it, your teacher knows who to give it back to. You will receive an antenna, a thin and flexible antenna, and you will also receive this Abbree foldable antenna, which, once you dig it out of the package, is quite useful. Comes with a little rubber O-ring, which is not necessary on this radio. The antenna is foldable, and when unfolded, it is approximately 19 inches long. I will test the effectiveness of this antenna versus this antenna shortly. And you will receive the Baofeng GMRS-9R handheld 5-watt waterproof GMRS walkie-talkie. The radio is available in several different colors. I chose the black one because it was available to ship sooner. What did you think I was going to say? And as mentioned earlier, this radio does have an IP67 rating. That means, yes, it is waterproof and submersible. So yes, you can take a bath with this radio. It has all of the controls that one might expect to find: an on-off knob, a flashlight, a hole for the antenna, an emergency or call button, which is totally useless, and a send and receive status LED, push to talk button, and 2 action buttons. The battery goes in very easily and is very quick and easy to remove. Menu button, channel up and down, and cancel or enter button. It has a rubberized flat keypad, which is different from most other radios. It is very sleek and modern looking, and the keypad lights up, which many radios do not do. That is a very nice feature. The keypad has a very nice feeling. Overall, the radio is firm and sturdy. It doesn't feel cheap or plasticky. If you choose to use the belt clip, it affixes here, and it affixes to the radio, not to the battery, like so many other radios do. The radio is chirp compatible. Oh, almost forgot. The radio is chirp compatible. Just tell Chirp that you're using a UV9G, but you will need a programming cable, which affixes here. You do need a screwdriver to get that loose, although once it's loose, you can use your thumb to pull it off. As previously mentioned, it's got that watertight type connector, and the screw does not fall out, so it will not disappear under the refrigerator. If you're using Chirp, you do need a programming cable. The package that I purchased does not come with the programming cable, but if you get the $68 package, I got the $63 package. If you get the $68 package, it comes with a cable and a carry case that attaches to your belt. If you do not have the cable, you can still do all of the programming and do pretty much everything right on the keypad. You do not have to have a computer and a cable to program it, but in order to do that, you will have to read the manual. The one thing that I noticed that you cannot do without the computer and the cable is you cannot program custom names for channels directly on the radio. And as I mentioned previously, one of the things that is nice about this kit is that it does come with this extra large foldable antenna and the shoulder mic. So this is a nice little value pack for the dollars You can also purchase just the radio itself, which I believe is about $45 or $50, but just the radio itself is about $20 less than any of the packages. This is a GMRS radio, so it transmits on all of the standard 22 GMRS channels, and it has 8 additional standard repeater channels, the same standard GMRS repeater channels that you find on most GMRS radios. And it has 23 additional DIY do-it-yourself channels that you can use to program other repeaters. It has a total of 128 memory slots for the DIY channels or additional frequencies that you can save and then scan through. The radio has no VFO button. So to get into VFO mode, if you want to directly enter a frequency instead of a channel, you must turn the radio off. You must press and hold the menu button while simultaneously turning the radio back on. That will put it into frequency mode and allow you to enter a frequency directly.
4301555.
Thusly, to get back into channel mode, simply repeat the process, turn the radio off, press and hold menu,
Channel mode,
and turn it back on. The radio can only transmit on GMRS channels because it is, after all, a GMRS radio, but the radio can receive and listen to VHF frequencies from 130 to 176 MHz, and UHF frequencies from 400 to 520 MHz. It can also listen to commercial FM radio, and the radio also receives NOAA channels and weather alerts. This is not a super heterodyne radio. This is a homodyne receiver, also known as a direct conversion receiver, often also referred to as an SOC type radio. So this radio is not as sensitive as a more expensive super heterodyne type radio, and it is also prone to bleed over and static from strong signals that are nearby. However, for most people, this will never be an issue. And most important, the most important feature of this radio is that it does have a Roger beep. Baofeng says this is a 5-watt radio. So let's see how true that is using the Farzometer 2000. Allow me to explain what I'm going to do, because if I do not explain it so that even the simplest minds can understand it, then the simplest minds will leave comments complaining that I did it wrong. I'm going to take my Farzometer 2000, pronounced Farzometer 2000, and connect it using this high-quality Messi and Poloni patch cable to the radio. I will then press the push-to-talk button while on various different channels, which will send the RF electricities from the radio through the high-quality Messi and Poloni cable into the Farzometer 2000, which will tell us how many RF electricities, as measured in watts, are coming out of the radio. We will see that measured here in watts. You will also see a large number displayed here. That is the SWR. This will not be a valid SWR because we do not have an antenna. We have this 50-watt dummy load, which will allow us to have a more accurate reading on the RF electricity's output. I am not going to measure the SWR because getting an accurate SWR reading on a portable or HT walkie-talkie antenna is exceedingly difficult and futile. So I will start on channel 1 and make sure that it is on high power, as indicated by the small h right there. The reason I'm starting on channel 1, I will then go to channel 16, and then I will then go to a repeater channel, is because most radios do not output the same power across all channels. So we want to test a low frequency channel, a mid frequency channel, and a higher frequency channel to get a good idea of how many RF electricities the radio can squirt. So I'm on GMRS channel 1. I will now press and hold the push to talk button, and we will see that we are getting 3.88 watts. Let's now go to channel 17, still on high power. Press the push to talk again, and we get 3.99 watts. And now we will go to a higher frequency channel, still on high power, and we get 3.93 watts. Not quite the 5 watts as promised by Baofeng. However, in reality, you will never notice a difference in FARs between 4 watts basically and 5 watts, and the battery will probably last a little longer. Although if the box says 5 watts, I usually expect 5 watts. But of course, the big question is, how many FARs does it talks? And the answer to that is, it has the same FARs. You can talk just as far on this radio as virtually every other 5-watt GMRS handheld that I've tested. It easily hits my favorite repeater 30 miles away. And it can also hit my other favorite repeater 69 miles away. Allow me to demonstrate. I have put the radio on my favorite repeater channel. I will press the push-to-talk button and very rudely kerchunk that repeater, and if I'm able to hit it, we will hear that squelch tail, that kerchunk static back, confirming that we hit the repeater. So let's see how it hits that repeater 69 miles away. That little static indicates that it did indeed hit my favorite repeater 69 miles away. But I want to see how much better this big Abbree folding antenna is versus the stock flexible rubber ducky type antenna that comes with the radio. So I asked my friend Chris, who lives 10 miles away, to help me. If you watch this channel often, you know that Chris is the real brains behind this channel. He calls the shots and makes all of the decisions. Basically, I'm just the pretty face. Chris is the brains of this operation. Now, you may have also noticed that Chris has been too busy to help me in the last few videos, and that is because Chris has been out of the country for the last few weeks, helping to rebuild an orphanage in South America that was damaged in a large earthquake. But Chris is now back home for a few days, and we are all very happy to have him back. Please take a moment to leave a comment and let Chris know how much we all appreciate him. So let's see how Chris sounds at his house 10 miles away using first the stock antenna and second the big Abbree foldable antenna. Chris 530, do you copy?
Yes, sir, I copy.
Chris, say hello. First, welcome back to the country. And say hello to all of your adoring fans and let us hear the quality of the signal and your smooth voice.
Roger that, sir. Hello, everybody. Glad to be back. Signal's loud and clear, sir.
So he was coming in 10 miles, still able to hit him. He is using a small walkie-talkie as well, similar to this one. Allow me to make one thing very clear. I live on a hill. Chris lives down in the valley below. So we have very good line of sight between this and him. There are a few houses and a few trees between us, but basically, if I were to look out the window, I would pretty much be able to see his house. How many FARs your radio can talk depends on many factors. Most importantly, what is between you and your radio and the other radio in which you are trying to contact. What I'm saying is, your FARs may vary. So I will now switch to the Abbree folding antenna and see if his signal comes in any stronger than before. I've got the Abbree antenna securely affixed, and let's see if there's any difference in the signal. Chris 530, how do we sound now? And give me a 3 count so that we can hear how smooth your voice is and how good the signal sounds.
Welcome, Mike. Better on this antenna. A little more clear, a little bit less static. Sounds wonderful, sir.
So as you just heard with your very own ear holes, the folding Abbree antenna does give your radio more FARs. I don't know if you could hear it over the YouTubes, but Chris was coming in much more clear. When he first started talking, somebody was stepping on him, so there was a little interference. But in my testing that I did with him last night when he first got home, even though he was still jet lagged, there was quite a big difference between the Abbree folding antenna and the small rubber ducky antenna. So just the inclusion of this bigger, better antenna in this kit, not to mention the awesome shoulder mic, to really impress the chicks. I'm a dork. All of this makes for a very good value. So should you buy the Baofeng GMRS-9R value kit sold by Abbree, which includes this sexy shoulder mic and Abbree folding antenna, my friend, Only you can decide if this radio is right for you and your active GMRS lifestyle. But if you are looking for a simple, easy-to-use, waterproof GMRS radio, then this radio could be the radio for you.